In the summer of 2020, a security camera captured fireworks erupting into a fireball in the hand of Ben Shortreed.
As I was lighting it, my life changed forever.
It went off.
It went off.
Do you have video of it?
I have video
You're
of it.
not comfortable showing that to anyone else?
No.
But Ben agreed to show it to me.
Oh my goodness.
An x-ray revealed horrific injuries to Ben's hand.
It was torn to shreds.
Doctors told him they couldn't save it.
I said, cut me at the wrist, I'll get a prosthetic. And that was it.
But it was just the beginning of Ben's nightmare. His hand was gone, but
I could still feel it. And it felt like somebody was pulling my fingernail and my thumbnail off. All right.
terrible feelings from lost limbs sometimes happen to amputees. They're called phantom pains, but they're very real.
So it sounds like torture.
It was absolute torture.
Torture that continued for weeks.
The treatment was drugs, opioids, so Oxycontin, morphine.
In doses so high, Ben was sent Narcan, the medicine that saves people who overdose. But even the high doses of opioids did not stop the pain, and Ben was becoming addicted.
So you're watching your husband turn into something else.
Yeah, it's like crazy.
Ben also began talking about a next step.
That next step was potentially ending my life.
That's when a doctor suggested peripheral nerve stimulation, or PNS. PNS has been around for decades, but SPR Therapeutics, based in Beechwood, Ohio, developed this, Sprint PNS, a cutting-edge device that allows doctors using ultrasound to implant microelectronic leads near a nerve inside the body, attaching them on the outside to this pulse generator, which delivers doses of electricity that interrupt the pathway for pain to the brain. Ben got the go-ahead from the VA to get it. He says the results were immediate.
Like that.
Just like that. In 6.5 weeks, that was the first time I didn't feel my hand and I didn't feel any pain.
At Highland Park Hospital near Chicago, Dr. David Dickerson, a double-board certified pain specialist, has treated 150 patients using Sprint PNS.
I call it Edison's medicine.
The majority, he says, got relief from their pain.
We've seen significant success, especially.
Dr. Dickerson isn't alone. According to peer-reviewed articles, 7 of 10 patients who receive Sprint PNS get significant and long-lasting pain relief. While the FDA approved Sprint PNS for pain management and Medicaid and Medicare accepted as a non-opioid treatment for chronic pain, many of the nation's largest health insurance companies won't cover it.
Peripheral nerve stimulation, unfortunately, isn't, for many of my patients, even a step that's available for them.
As a matter of fact, Dr. Dickerson says some insurers require opioids before they'll even consider PNS.
You're telling me you, in this case of the STEP program, have to show that you tried opioids in many cases?
For some policies, yes.
Maria Bennett is the president, CEO, and founder of SPR Therapeutics and the inventor of Sprint PNS.
If you have a system that still falls back on the pharmaceutical approach,
Right.
in particular opioids,
Right.
what are we doing?
Right. Yeah, and that's a great question. I mean, it's frustrating and mind-boggling to us.
According to Bennett's company, large health insurers are routinely denying coverage of its device. One large insurer denied 92% of the claims. This summer, United Healthcare decided not to cover PNS at all. I asked the company why not, and in an email, a spokesperson wrote back stating, "We are aware of recent clinical publications regarding the use of peripheral nerve stimulation to treat pain," adding, "We are currently reviewing our applicable medical policy." Bennett insists data proves her product works.
We have developed something that has been folks have been waiting for a while, and maybe we have arrived in the right moment of time.
The time was right for Ben. After 2 months, his Sprint PNS was removed.
Have you had any of the pain since?
Zero.
Really?
Zero. Zero pain, zero phantom feeling. It's been great. It's been wonderful.
Now he has a new hand.
That's pretty cool.
And a firm grip on life again, thanks to a high-tech answer to pain relief that doesn't involve pills.
Did this procedure and device save your life?
100%.
Dwayne Pullman, Local 12 News. At more than a dozen hospitals across the U.S., early studies reveal hyperbaric oxygen therapy, or HBOT, is helping to save the lives of critically ill COVID-19 patients. Unlike ventilators, where a tube is inserted into the patient's windpipe to deliver oxygen, HBOT uses chambers like this one to dramatically increase air pressure, allowing the lungs to absorb pure oxygen. It's non-invasive. All the patient has to do is lie down.
So many doctors, I believe, are not even aware of it.
Dr. Paul Harch, the director of hyperbaric medicine at LSU in New Orleans, worked with Chinese doctors early in the crisis, helping them to publish this study, which revealed HBOT was effective for dozens of COVID-19 patients, allowing them to avoid ventilators and recover from the virus.
The science is there to argue for hyperbaric oxygen for coronavirus.
But the Food and Drug Administration warns against using HBOT for anything other than 14 approved conditions, from treating decompression sickness and carbon monoxide poisoning to healing burns and wounds. FDA scientists say there are a lack of rigorous studies proving HBOT works for anything else.
Our hope is that through doing this in a rigorous way, we can try to overcome sort of the stigma around hyperbaric therapy.
At New York University Langone Health, 2 doctors teamed up to conduct a case control study comparing coronavirus patients who received HBOT in these chambers at NYU Winthrop Hospital with patients who did not. The results are under review for publication, but what they claim they found is stunning. Of 60 patients who did not receive HBOT, 30, or half, needed to be placed on ventilators. 13 died. That's a mortality rate of 22%. Meanwhile, of 20 patients who did receive HBOT, only 2 of them were placed on ventilators, and 2 died, a much lower mortality rate of 10%.
As a layman who's not a scientist, that seems to me, I'd look at it and say, wow, that worked.
While these results are promising, what it really means is that we need to do a larger trial.
But a larger trial will take time and cost big money, a tough sell for a treatment that's not a drug. And funding isn't the only barrier to HBOT. Many hospitals don't have hyperbaric chambers, and moving critically ill COVID-19 patients to another facility can be deadly.
If it's not done safely, that could actually kill a patient.
But a growing body of evidence shows, when available, this simple chamber has helped save lives. I'm Dwayne Pullman for Spotlight on America.